Heritage Memorial Park. Bisitahin natin ang lamay ni General Eduardo Ermita na pinsan namin. Nandito rin ata yung kanyang kapatid na si Colonel na halos sabay na namatay. Yes, kaya tayo sa The Heritage Memorial Park para sa lamay ni General Ermita. Dahil black dito sa lamay. Saan daw? Ito ba? Ha? Hindi. Ito, madami mga pirami, ang dahil bulaklak dito ngayon sa funeraria sa General Eduardo. Yun pa yan.
Ako po si Raymond Ermita, anak po ni Ben, the youngest brother of Tito Ed. So before we start, I'd like to express my father's thanks and appreciation for the show of respect and attendance that everyone has brought today and for the past few days. As you can imagine, this past week has been a whirlwind and devastating week for everyone, with the loss of Tito Ed, with the loss of the eldest brother, my Nino. So I wanted to express our thanks and appreciation to everyone. I'll apologize in advance. My notes are medyo magulo, but I'll do my best to keep this as short and as meaningful as possible. I remember Tito Ed for a couple of different things. We all know Tito Ed as the military man, the political personality, the father, the spokesperson. But I specifically remember Tito Ed for someone who was extremely articulate in his speeches. There was a time where Tito Ed, Tito LV, and I think Lisa, we were all in New York, and he was asked to speak at a conference. And I was sitting next to one of my cousins, and he gave his speech. And I'll never forget what she said. This was another daughter of Tito Vic de Jesus. She said, "He is the most articulate person I've ever heard in my life." And that stuck with me. This was almost more than 20 plus years ago since then. And whenever I listen to Tito Ed during his speeches, during his talks, I'll always remember how articulate he was. The other memory I have of Tito was that he was one of the greatest sources of wisdom that any person could really go to. So two memories came to mind. One time, my sister and I were in New York. Tito Ed, Tito LV were there, and they were there, I think, for a visit at the UN. And Tito Lynn was the one who picked up Tito Ed and myself, and she was going to bring us to the United Nations. And I remember Tito Lynn left us. Tito Ed and I walked around New York City. We ended up at a bookstore, and we stayed there for about 2.5 hours. And only in one section, it was the leadership section. And he was picking out the books about leadership. In fact, he gave me a book, The Art of War, which I still have in my cabinet, which I refer to every so often. And I remember that I just left him alone. I just watched him as he was looking through each and every single book that was there, and used it as a point of reference, I guess, throughout his career and throughout his personal life. The second time I remember Tito Ed as a source of wisdom was I was in Cebu one time. I went to Cebu with Tita LV. We attended a wedding, and then I was the one who went back with Tito Ed on the plane from Cebu. And Tito Ed and I were seated at the chairs, and he was reading a book. And it was the first time I saw someone who, whenever they read a passage or something important, he would take his pen out and he would just check. So I don't know if you guys know this, but that's his personality. Whenever he read something really important, he would take his pen and just check. And for me, I would highlight, but that was the first time I saw that. Until this day, I do that myself. Because I remember he was seated to my left, the light was on, and he just kept going like this. And then I asked him a very simple question. This was around 2001, after 9/11, and after when everything was happening. And he closed the book that he was reading. And then I said to him, Tito Ed, what do you think's happening now with the world? And he said to me, I'll never forget this until this day. I carry this on. I always bring this talk. And this is part of the reason why I have a better understanding of geopolitics. His message to me was, there's only 3 letters in the world that that's the driving factor of war and politics. O-I-M, oil. And since then, if you think about all the different things that are happening in the world, with the Middle East, with Russia, the driving factor behind that is really oil. And I'll never forget that. And since then, I always keep that in my mind. So I know Tito Ed as someone who is extremely articulate, someone who is a source of wisdom, and probably one of the greatest sources of diplomacy that I've ever seen. I wrote this down. If you look up the word diplomacy, it's the art and science of managing international relationships through peaceful means such as dialogue and negotiation instead of conflict. And I think that's summed up very well, Tito Ed. Avoid conflict at all costs, strive for peace. But one more important thing that I always remember about Tito Ed is that he was a family man. So, in his book, as I was writing my notes, I opened this book, and the first thing that opened up was page 235, and it's the first few paragraphs in this book. Show me a man who claims to have achieved success, and I will show you how he truly is by the kind of family he has. One of the greatest opportunities is that I have reached some level of success in my life, yet I have fallen short of becoming a good husband to my wife and father to my children. I disagree with Tito Ed. I think he's the opposite of that. I think he did everything that he can to be a great husband to Tita Elvie, a great father to Edwin, to Gigi, Eileen, and Lisa, and all the grandchildren. He also wrote, I have the greatest joy in realizing that I continue to live a life of meaning and purpose, that I will always seek opportunities to make the world a bit better, not so much to further enhance the career I have paid for myself, nor to overrate whatever service I have rendered and will continue to render our people and our country. That tells me the type of person Tito Ed was. He always put family, country, and God first in front of everyone else.
Nangibabaw talaga the values that he instilled in us, in our family. And I think that's the main thing that I will bring with me forever. From the boss to the kids, family and friends and colleagues, we all know because it's how he lived it every day. Through his words, through his actions, through the way he loved all of us. Maybe in different ways, but tonight let me allow me to share my point of view. He taught us the value of family. So growing up, I really saw how much family meant to him. We celebrated each event with everyone. Like, mag-birthday ka, you have to invite everyone. That was just how we did things. So it's automatic, you add about 70 people. Lolo loved his family so much. He was very proud of his siblings. He did everything with his siblings. Mahjong, every Saturday, Sunday, his siblings from the States would always go home to celebrate life here. And sadly, it was also, very evident when they did everything together, Lolo Nito and him, and they passed on the same day. I saw how he took care of everyone, and now that's how I see how he was able to teach them down to how his kids take care of him. I experienced that with Papa. When we were younger, like sila Lolo would always play mahjong. Automatic apat yun, di ba? So that's Lolo Ed, Lolo Nito, Lolo Red, and Lolo Ben. And automatically, if may mag-absent, first person to call is Papa. And Papa, whatever he was doing, wherever we were, he would drop everything kasi mahjong. And we understood the meaning of that. Parang, okay, that's automatic. And that value we had, and was so, so special to us. Hindi mo ma-imagine na even until ilang taon na sila, they were still very, very much bonded. And the time, I guess this year, I mean, matagal na rin naman, I really saw how much the kids, Papa, Tita Aileen, Tita Gigi, Tita Lisa really took care of Lolo. And my promise to you, Lolo, is that I promise to take care of Papa and Mama. Just how much they took care of you and Lola. He taught us about unconditional love, the kind that doesn't score, doesn't judge, and forgives easily. With all that happened to our family, he continued to accept and love, no questions asked.
Sa harap because I don't even know if matatapos namin sa pagbasa. So, saluhan na lang. But, yan. So, I'm Ermita. This is Yan.
Hello, I'm Bayani.
I'm Rala. I'm the youngest. Okay, so the past few days, we've been quietly observing, seeing the people who come and go, the numerous flowers being delivered, and hearing all the stories being shared about Lola. Everyone talked about his brilliance, his discipline, his leadership, and most of all, his good heart. His classmates from BMA, his fellow soldiers, his colleagues in government, they all see him as someone who has done so much good for our country. But to us, he wasn't just that. He was our Lola, the one who would welcome us into his arms after a tiring day at school, the one who would get up from watching TV, or even from a nap just to talk to us and tell us his stories. He'd always be so excited to see us.
So, okay, nag-meeting sila, they left. The following day, I'll cut it short, no? Mahaba eh. Yung early evening of the following day, Kuya Ed asked for a piece of paper and a ball pen. So I gave him several pieces of paper and a ball pen. I was writing a lot of things, pero hindi ko nakikita, but I was on his left side, trying to look at kung ano yung sinusulat niya. And, you know, this would be the first time ikikwento ko to kung ano yung nakasulat sa papel na yun. Yung right side kasi, kasi natatakpan ng R niya eh. I saw 4 words sa sinulat niya. Number 1, ang sinulat niya, God. Number 2, family. Number 3, I'll skip it first. Balikan ko lang yun. And the 4th was career. You know, when you see the word God, you can see Kuya Ed's faith in God. How strong it is. That is his spirituality. Now, when yung second factor niya, second na nilagay niya, family, that really shows his values. Next to God is family. Now, yung third, balikan ko ulit, yung 4th was career. You know, we know how serious Kuya Ed was in his career. Kaya naman, ganito siya, taas na naabot nga, no? And syempre, I think, I concluded that by writing those words, Kuya Ed was processing his decision making. Yes.
Vilma Santos, si Governor Vilma Santos. Hindi ka din naharap sa na ano ko. Dalingos na kung ano mga video. Sila di ba sila picture doon? Star for all season. Dito. Labas dito. Seven Santuico Street, Makati, Via del Pilar, Makati.
67.
Teka.
Hindi na nga nila magkilala kasi
Hindi.
sana
Ha?
sabi niya, nag-atid pa daw siya ng atid sundo.
Saan? Anong address yun? Sa 67, di ba?
767 San Diego.
6767 Santuico Street, Via del Pilar. Makati.
Sa puwet natin, nasa mo.
Dali. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Ako nga. Ingat ko yung ha.